Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Brother T. I'm a Freemason and cigar enthusiast with VCR, and I got the tapes rolling on another cigar review video for you folks. As you could tell at the opening with that still image, the cigar that we're reviewing today is going to be the JFR Lunatic Loco Perfecto in Loco. And I'll tell you guys right now, spoiler alert, I really love the feel of this Vitola. The first impressions that I get as I look at it, goodness, goodness, goodness. The size. It's a 60 ring gauger Perfecto. It's fantastic. Not typically a fan of larger ring gauges. I edge maybe more towards Lanceros than I would a Toro, but I'm excited for it just because of the heft that it has in its hand. It reminds me really, in terms of the pigtail cap and the slight pointy foot, it reminds me of an enlarged version of the Flying Pig Vitola, commonly seen from perhaps a Drew Estate offering. It's a rich chocolate brown in color. The wrapper is slightly oily. It has minimal veins, visible seams, and it just absolutely is pleasing to the eye. A slight floral note, cocoa, earth, and almost what reminds you of a sweet tart candy. It's very sweet noted, so we'll be to see how it tastes when we light it up. Smoke, it's dense, slightly creamy. Cigar draws very well, no resistance. You wouldn't expect it with a ring gauge that size. The foot does narrow a little bit, so I was wondering if we were going to expect any resistance at all. There is none. It's like pulling water through a straw. It's just fantastic. Initial notes are a dusty earth, cream, slight black pepper, and almost a red pepper chili flake. I can start to feel a little bit of heat build. All right, everybody. Getting to about the inch mark on the Loquito. It's been fantastic. At initial light, we had that slight red pepper that's been building a little bit as we continue to draw down on the cigar. As the tip hits the point where it runs into what the solid ring gauge is, which is that 60 ring gauge, you see that red pepper chili flake just start to fall off. So we're really at an interesting transition right now, because as we were building up to this, we had wood to dry wood with that red pepper chili flake. Now as we continue to draw on the cigar, I get more elements of cream. That cocoa is starting to mature more towards a chocolate note. And there's a wood core. It's not really so much dry. It very much is on the sweeter side of a stick. All right, folks. We're approaching the halfway mark. As you can tell, burn is a little wavy. It's been self-correcting so far, so we're just going to let it ride out and see where it goes. I wouldn't move it into its canoeing. I don't really think that's the case yet. It has, again, been self-correcting. So sometimes it takes a little longer than others. So we'll see where it goes and if we have to touch it up or not. At the halfway point so far, notice how we have cream. At times a very rich nut. And it's a sweeter cream too. I'm beginning to think that the core flavors of this cigar are really wood, chocolate, and a sweet cream. There is also a flavor note to point out, and that is cornflake. There were periods of time in our run up to this halfway point where there would be pops of really a distinct cornflake note, which has been fantastic and is uncommon to find in a cigar. That has been my experience. Let's talk about the blend a little bit. Okay, this cigar is unique in the industry in the sense that it is the only one that has a Corojo Maduro wrapper. There are Corojo cigars out there, don't get me wrong, but apparently, and I would love for somebody to point it out, this is the first instance that they were able to create a Corojo Maduro that they then used to wrap around a cigar. So that is fantastic just because of the novelty. Outside of that, the binder and filler are also Nicaraguan. So what did we learn yesterday? It makes it a Nicaraguan Puro. There you go. You're a cigar expert already. All right, everybody. We're getting to that point where we got to undress this boy. Remove the band. There we go. And let's talk about that band a little bit. It has adequate paper stock. It reminds me of Plum Crazy Purple. For those muscle car folks out there, maybe familiar with that color. And silver. There's some slightly pressed elements. All in all, a very adequate band. The notes we're getting right now are a rich nut, coffee, wood. There has been intermittent notes of black pepper and still that red pepper chili flake. It's not a core flavor by any means, but an accent. We're just going to take the time right now to do the wrap up on this cigar as well. Construction, well, it's a 60 ring gauge. So I expected that we would have some opportunities to relight the cigar. We didn't. We only needed to touch it up one time. The details, the pointed foot, the pigtailed cap, those all really resonate with me. The ash held on in greater than 1 inch increments. So the construction by and large is almost faultless. Burn, it was wavy. To that end, it by and large self-corrected. But again, we did need to touch it up one time. It probably could have brought it back, but I'm pretty particular. OCD kicked in, and we took a lighter to it. Draw, thick, creamy, slight coating on the mouth, not really so much oily. The cigar is a medium in body and a medium to medium plus in strength. It really started off in strength where the Perdomo ended yesterday, for those of you that caught that review. This is Brother T with VCR Cigars, and we did a review on the JFR Loco Lunatic Loquito Perfecto. Maybe got the order wrong in there, but what's important is we called it all out. And for those of you that may be unfamiliar with JFR as a brand, JFR stands for just for retailers. It used to be a retailer only offering. You may be familiar with the brand because I do believe one of the Vitolas and one of the blends hit Cigar Aficionado's top 25 list. And as always, smoke 'em if you got 'em.